One day, Buddha was walking slowly by himself along the edge of a lotus pond in the Pure Land. The white lotus flowers blooming in the pond were as beautiful as jewels, and an indescribably wonderful fragrance emanated continuously from the golden stamens at their centers. It must have been early morning in the Pure Land. Eventually, Buddha stopped at the edge of the pond and peered through the lotus leaves at the surface of the water. Beneath the lotus pond of the Pure Land lay the world of hell, and through the crystal clear water, the landscapes of hell, such as the river of three crossings and the mountain of needles, could be seen clearly, as if through a telescope. At that moment, the Buddha spotted the figure of a man named Kandata among the many sinners writhing at the bottom of hell. This Kandata was a great thief who had committed various evil deeds, such as killing people and setting houses on fire. However, Kandata had one memory of a good deed he had done. One day, while walking through a deep forest, he saw a small spider crawling along the edge of the path. Kandata raised his foot to crush the spider, but then thought, "No, even though it is small, it has life. It would be cruel to take it without reason," and spared the spider. As Buddha looked upon the scene in hell, he recalled how Kandata had saved the spider. And he decided to save Kandata from hell as a reward for that single good deed. Just then, he looked nearby and saw a spider from the Pure Land on a lotus leaf, spinning a beautiful silver thread. The Buddha gently took the spider's thread in his hand and let it hang straight down from the white lotus flowers to the bottom of hell. At the bottom of the blood pool in hell, Kandata was suffering alongside other sinners, floating and sinking. Hell was pitch black, with only the needles on the mountain of needles glowing. The surroundings were as quiet as a grave, with only the faint cries of the sinners audible. Among them, Kandata was choking on blood, struggling like a dying frog. One day, Kandata suddenly raised his head and looked up at the sky. In the darkness, he noticed a single silver spider's thread descending from heaven, gently lowering itself toward him. Kandata flapped his hands in joy. "If I cling to this thread and climb up, I might escape from hell. If I'm lucky, I might even reach paradise," he thought. He grasped the spider's thread tightly with both hands and began climbing upward with all his strength. However, the distance between hell and paradise was countless miles, so he could not reach the top immediately. After climbing for a while, Kandata became exhausted and decided to take a break. Hanging from the thread, he looked down below. The pool of blood where he had been was now hidden in the darkness below, and the mountain of needles had receded far below his feet. Kandata thought, "If I keep climbing, I might be able to escape hell," and smiled as he clung to the thread. At that moment, he noticed something. Below the spider's thread, many other sinners were following him, climbing up like a line of ants. Kandata was shocked and terrified. This thin spider's thread is dangerous even for one person, let alone many people. It might break if too many climb on it. He shouted loudly, "Hey! This is my thread. Who gave you permission to climb up here? Get down, get down!" At that moment, the thread snapped with a sharp sound where Kanda was hanging. Before he could even scream, he was swept away by the wind, spinning wildly, and plummeted back into the darkness below. All that remained was the spider's thread of paradise, glistening briefly in the moonless, starless sky. The Buddha stood by the lotus pond in the Pure Land, watching the entire scene unfold. When he saw Kandata sink to the bottom of the blood-filled pool, the Buddha looked sad and slowly began to walk away. The coldness of Kandata's heart, who had tried to escape hell alone, and the inevitable consequence of that cruel heart. That must have seemed pitiful to the Buddha. However, the lotus flowers of the Pure Land paid no heed to such matters. The white, pearl-like flowers swayed gently at the Buddha's feet, and a fragrant scent continued to waft endlessly from their golden stamens. Perhaps it was nearing noon in the Pure Land.